Hello friends, today I want to talk about the C Sharp .NET dependency injection, and Microsoft already has libraries for this, so it will be easy. So let me explain to you that I have a short program to kind of explain the main concepts. What you want to do is add this package, Microsoft extensions dependency injection and Microsoft extensions.hosting, and that should be pretty much enough as to what you need. And this is a .NET SDK project, and I'm using .NET 9.0, but it doesn't have to be. .NET 8 or .NET 6 will also work fine. So once you have added these packages, you obviously want to be able to use it. And one thing that normally that is done is you want to create some kind of an application. So using the most simple application, where I just say host and you say create application builder. This can be used for console applications. For the web, you need to use the web application builder, for example. And args is the arguments that are coming into your application. So once you get the builder, what you can do is normally the way the dependency injection works is that you have an interface, and normally we use an interface, so it will be very easy to unit test, and you can plug in different implementations of the interface, so it is very common. So in this application, for example, what you do is you say builder services is a collection where all your services will be handled. And when Microsoft says services, it essentially means objects, any objects. So what I'm saying here is builder.services add singleton, and I say anytime an interface iMessage writer is needed in a constructor, the container can create a object, and that object would be created from the class message writer. And singleton means I just need only one instance of this in my whole application. So now just to explain to you a little bit as to what the iMessage writer is very simple. It basically just has a write a method and which takes a string. And I also have an implementation for illustration purposes. And what you would notice is that it takes in a logger. This is a Microsoft package that can be used for logging, and it has a lot of good features. And dependency injection actually supports logging of this automatically, so I don't have to like add for iLogger I need logger, or add singleton, or those kinds of things. Microsoft has already done that as part of the way they have set up this system. So here I'm saying this message writer class, the constructor needs an iLogger. So this logger will be actually given to this class object whenever they're trying to construct this object. And you will get this logger through the container. And the write method is very easy, and I'm using this logger that I've stored the property here, and I can log the information. And I've also created something called a background service here, just for so you can see what this application is doing. It basically starts up a background service, and the object it is going to create is called worker. And since that is from background service, it implements and execute async, and I'm not really actually canceling this, so this will probably run forever. But this is kind of the worker running, and it'll. So let me show you what happens as to when you run this. So let me just debug this program so you can kind of see how that works. So first it came into the application builder, and I can step over it, and you see none of my classes or objects or anything has created. And now it tried to add the hosted service. After that, it tries to add my specifications that for iMessage writer interface, you should create an object of message writer. And I step over that. Nothing really happened. When I say nothing happened, it means my code was not getting called. So now I run through and step this thing, and where basically you create an host and you build it. And once this builder is built, you can do host.run. When host.run is done, then's when your things will start getting called. So let me just kind of step over this and see what happens. So first thing it is doing is starting this background service, and it's saying the worker is running. And let me just kind of go to that. And when the worker is running, it is needs this writer dot write. So it will call that message writer dot write, and you can see here it's calling it, and you can see this logger is already instantiated here, because if I didn't have the logger, it would not be able to write this information. So you can see now this is basically running forever, because I didn't really have a way of canceling this background service, but this is for illustration. So in summary, what happens is you can create things like add singleton, and you can create an object or message data. The other options for, instead of using singleton, I would have are at, let me show you those that are most common. The other one that can be used is add transient. So that would be another option. And it would work in this case because it's not really a big issue. But basically what it means is every time an object of type message writer is need, wherever iMessage writer is referenced, it'll create it every time it's needed. And notice that I didn't have to worry about releasing these objects or anything. That's all taken care by the container. So those are the common ones. And there is another one that is sometimes used, and is called add scope services. And this one is usually useful for when you have a concept of a connection, and that you want to make sure that all of the things that are happening on a web connection are taken care of, and you only get that object only once. So then you can also use add scoped. So normally add transient and add singleton would be more common, and in these special cases you can use add scoped. And also, I just want to mention that I did say that logging was already taken care by Microsoft. It also already takes care of doing the options as well. So let me illustrate that to you by changing it back to add singleton. And if I run this program again, for example, you would see under the variables, okay, I think I stepped too far. Let me just rerun this again here. So if I look at this builder, and you can look at logging, and then I look at some services here. And if you look at the services and the lifelines, for example, here you can see there are many different services that Microsoft has already created. As you can see, here's an example of a scoped one. And let's say you want to look at some of these other ones. Let's say, I think there is one for options. You can probably find it here. So you can see an example of transient also here. So if you want to explore more, you can just take a look at the service collection and see how many services you have already. So there, in this case, we see we already have 24 of them, and that is quite instruction. And here you can see other one is options, where basically the options you say specify in the JSON configuration or something that can also be injected through this. So this is a really nice thing that Microsoft has provided, and you don't really need to go to third-party packages if you just want to use constructor dependency injections. Thank you for watching this short screencast, and you have a great day.